Hey, this is Matthew and welcome back to Nerd News Today. I am cleaning out my wrestling figure archive because I've had a bunch of figures that have just been really sitting around in my collection for a while that I meant to do videos with and just hadn't gotten around to them. And now that the COVID-19 outbreak has happened, I got a little bit more time. So we're gonna finally start busting into some of these older figures I got. We're starting off with one that was so hard to get, but so great, so amazing looking already, even in the packaging. And that's this figure here of Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So this figure was a Wal-Mart exclusive figure, and me living in New York City, we don't have a lot of Walmarts, and the few we do are pretty terrible because the scalpers hit them hard every morning. So it's hard to get anything out there. But I actually got really lucky, but I found another website whose name I'm suddenly blanking on, but I'm going to put a nice little text bubble at the bottom there so you know where I got it from. And they actually had it, believe it or not, for normal price, more or less normal price. I think Elites at Walmart are like under 20 bucks now. Maybe they've gone up recently, but I paid really not much more than MSRP for this guy. And I've seen him on eBay and other groups for anywhere from like 50, 60, 80 bucks, sometimes up. It's kind of insane, but he's super hard to get, and I managed to snag him for a great price. So if you're looking for figures, I feel like I'm giving away a real big secret here, but check out this site here because they got the hookup at good prices and they are legit. So the packaging here is our contemporary elite style packaging with the little diagonal cut there. This does have the collector's edition on top, which is a little different from a lot of other figures we've seen. That's mostly because this is a Walmart exclusive collector's edition figure. On one side, we have this big old portrait of Jim, and on the other side here, we've got him in action. And to be fair, I feel like these two images actually don't match. This appears to be from the Attitude Era Jim Neidhart, but I feel like this image here isn't from Attitude Era, but I'm not really sure. It's hard to say with his look, because his look was so similar. If there's anybody out there who knows for sure, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Chances are they're from the same period, but I feel like it could be also a Hart Foundation, earlier Hart Foundation. I'm not really sure. Back of the packaging here has our nice bio about the Anvil, which talks about his birthplace, height, and weight, his career highlights, and one sentence about who he is. Now what you'll notice is interesting here on the back is that there's no other figures shown. That's because he kind of was in literally a league of his own. And let's compare that here with this Pete Dunne. You can see what I'm talking about. There's no other figures in this wave because he is the Anvil. He gets his own special Anvil-y wave. So that's really cool. You know, I haven't seen a lot of these figures before, so I didn't know that was a thing that they did. But it's kind of a fun little thing to note. What does kind of bug me a little bit more about this figure is the fact that it doesn't say on the bio exactly which time period this Anvil figure is from. Because this is saying that he's an original member of the legendary Hart Foundation, but technically this figure is not the original Hart Foundation. This is more or less the Attitude Era Hart Foundation. This is when him, Brett, Bulldog, Owen were all together running around as Canadian heels. In fact, that's what that jacket is from. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that they don't mention that part specifically, that they don't mention that this is from his stable times. Because they've already made another Anvil figure. They made a few Anvils, in fact, from his time with Brett as the Hart Foundation. This is, I think, it's not his first Attitude Era Anvil, but it's the first in a long, long, long time. So again, no reason not to shout that out, but what do I know? But I'm not a guy who keeps his figures in the box, so let's go ahead and bust Anvil out and get him into the ring and take a look at him loose. All right, and here is our Jim the Anvil Neidhart figure loose now in the ring. Let's take a good long look at this guy. And first things first, we gotta mention that face sculpt. Because this is the True Effects technology, they got a perfect Jim the Anvil Neidhart likeness. They got the hair great, they got the facial expression great. That's really what sells this figure to me, actually, is the facial expression. They got that crazy maniacal laugh that he did, and they really somehow managed to capture that split second in there. And it really has the energy of Jim the Anvil Neidhart completely. But aside from that, we've also got just amazing paint job too. I mean, the chest hair paint looks really great. I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's true. They really got that down, really nicely looking. They got the bright pink, they got the black, they've got the white Anvil on him. Overall, very nice, clean paint job, down to every little accessory, including even, let's take a look at the sides. You can see they've got the Anvil design going across the side of his pants there, which looks really nice. Same on the boot as well. And that's the same on the other side as well. Just again, just nice details there. And of course, they got that lettering on his back as well. Overall, just a very clean, very smooth paint job. Nothing to complain about. We can also talk about the body a little bit too, because I think the body is kind of unique to this figure and really to the whole line as well. He's got more of like a bulging belly almost. And so he's got a little bit of a wider, thicker body. And yeah, I haven't seen it with a lot of other figures. And case in point here, I'm actually gonna bring out the other Anvil that came out. I think this was the last Elite Anvil figure that came out about 3 or 4 years ago, I think. And it shares the same torso, now that I'm actually looking at it, but I feel like a lot of figures haven't had this torso. And it's kind of funny because, you know, there's so many body types that we have in wrestling. And in terms of like more of a thicker, more rounder, barrel-chested character, I feel like this is one body type that doesn't get used a lot in the figures. And I can really point to like Samoa Joe being one of the guys that can definitely use a better sculptor, or Kevin Owens especially. Kevin Owens really needs something like this. And I'm kind of shocked that, at least as far as I can remember, that Kevin Owens hasn't used this kind of body type before. And if he hasn't, he really, really should. But yeah, I do want to again just show you guys side by side to compare the two of what these figures look like. As I mentioned, the paint on the chest, they're very different from each other. You'll notice that the older Anvil release, it's kind of more clustered, it's almost thicker, whereas here in the modern release, it's a lot thinner hair and just better applied across the body. And again, in terms of likeness, you know, neither has a bad likeness. They're both actually really, really great. I think the most unique difference is the hair. You can see since this Anvil here is meant to be him in the Attitude Era, he's got kind of like a thinner hair look compared to what this one has. So again, nice little attention to detail there from Mattel to really help differentiate the two eras of these Anvil figures. Of course, the pink also is a little bit more different color because this was the Attitude Era, much brighter. Surprisingly, he had a little bit more subdued pink. You can have a thing such as subdued pink. That's what this Anvil here had. But let's remove this one and just get back to talking about this Wal-Mart Collector's Edition Jim Neidhart right here. So articulation he has, same as every other Mattel figure that's elite. He does have a ball jointed head, but he can't really look down too much because, well, he's got a giant goatee there. We got ball jointed shoulders, we got the swivel bicep, we've got elbow and wrist that bend. The torso here can go up and down as well as left and right. And since he is a bigger guy, you know, you can't get him to do that classic Mattel split, but it's not bad for what it is. And we have all the other articulation as normal, including that double jointed knee and good ankle movement. Very nice. So really, you're not going to have too much of a hindrance with him other than the fact that he can't do a full split, but I don't think the Anvil could ever do a full split in his lifetime. So not much of a loss in that regard. He does have separate nice elbow pads as well on him, which is really cool. And as you saw, that other initial release of his figure did not have those. I really appreciate the furrowed brow that this Anvil figure has, as well as that goatee. And it's a much, much more realistic goatee in some ways than the original release had as well. It's overall just got more lifelike expression to it, and that's what really makes this Anvil pop. So aside from that, what does the Anvil come with? Well, he does have two other pairs of hands, an entrance jacket, and sunglasses. And in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys all of those pieces together right now, including popping out his hands, because that's probably the easiest way to get this jacket on him. So let's go ahead and switch him out into his entrance gear and see how this is gonna work. And by the way, I do want to mention that this entrance jacket here is soft goods. It is not rubber. So that's interesting. And what's also kind of cool about it is even the zippers are actually different material. That's kind of like a new detail they're putting in with a lot of these toys. It almost looks like a real zipper now. I really like that illusion that they're creating with this. And just so you can see the back of the jacket as well, it says Anvil Heart Foundation, but we'll get a better look at that once it's actually on him. So let's go ahead and see how this soft goods jacket is going to fit on him, because that is a big concern. But right now it's going on very, very nicely, very easily. Man, that would be awesome if it just went on with no problems whatsoever. And folks, I think it basically has gone on with no problems whatsoever. Holy cow. All right, well, I need to get some hands on him because it looks kind of bizarre right now. But yeah, all right, let's pop his other hands onto him, which are closed fists. So the other Anvil release that we just showed you a little while ago, oops, I just put the wrong hand on. That figure originally came with the classic Tag Team Championship belts. And I think it had glasses as well, but I honestly can't remember. So if anybody out there can let me know in the comments, go ahead, tell me if that Anvil did in fact have sunglasses also. Other hand in, boom. Oh man, this is a good looking figure. Wow. All right, check that out, guys. That is a tight looking jacket on him, and tight in the good sense of the word, not tight that it's ill-fitting. It actually fit on just perfectly. And here's that last little piece of the equation, the Anvil's sunglasses. Oh man, this is perfect. They nailed this one. Wow, they absolutely nailed this. They absolutely nailed this 110%. Like everything about this look is great. And I'm gonna turn him around now so you can get a better look at that jacket on him now as well. There it is, Anvil Heart Foundation. How cool is that? So now you could basically almost complete the original Heart Foundation for the Attitude Era, because I know they've made a Brett with this jacket. They made a Bulldog with his leather vest jacket from Mattel as well. We're missing an Owen figure. Who knows if we'll ever get one from Mattel, but at least at the very least you can finish who's available with the Heart Foundation gear and jackets on. But I gotta say, looking at this thing now, man, well worth the hunt. I feel really lucky that I was able to scoop this guy up as well for a normal price, not having to pay absurd eBay prices for him. So yeah, you know guys, definitely check out that site I mentioned before. I'll even put up the tag one more time so you can remember where it is. I don't get any commission for doing this. I'm just helping y'all out because someone else helped me out with that link a while ago. So I'm just spreading the information. But yeah, totally worth it. And my goodness, man, you gotta get this Anvil, especially if you're a collector of Attitude Era figures, just more retro style wrestlers. The Anvil is 110% a must-have figure. Now, a while back, I also got Natty, and I unfortunately didn't bring her out with me today to do this review. But man, seeing these two side by side is also just really cute. I know Natty's actually put them side by side, in fact. So it's really great to have the whole family together now, and especially this modern looking Neidhart. And I really do want to stress, I think this is probably the best Jim the Anvil Neidhart figure we've had, period. And I think it's also the one to get, at least if you're collecting Mattel. If you're collecting Jakks, there's definitely some really good ones there you can get. But if you're gonna stay strictly Mattel, this is the Anvil to get. It's got the leather jacket, it's got the glasses. Of course, you can't beat swappable hands. The paint job is the best we've seen from any other figures out there, basic and elite included. And to be honest, we're probably not gonna get too many other Anvil figures from this point on. I mean, chances are, they've done a lot of the looks. What more is there to do with the Anvil besides basically refining the sculpt and making a new one for him maybe like 6 or 7 years later from now? So really, this is gonna probably be the last Anvil for quite some time. And if you don't have one yet, you better hunt him down and get him onto your shelf right away, because I'm raving about it, as you can see. And I think if you got this figure too, you would be doing the same. So until next time, I'm Matthew. Thanks for watching this review of our special edition Jim the Anvil Neidhart figure. Hope to see you guys here next time on Nerd News Today with some more toy reviews, everything else that we do here on the channel. So hey, make sure to like this video and subscribe to us to be notified when the next video drops. We got a lot more wrestling toys on the way, so make sure to be here when all those start popping up. Thanks for watching, and be safe.